All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing? Friday. I'll tell you what, the weeks, the days are just blasting by. It is absolutely amazing. I'm sitting here and I'm just like, where's this time going? I mean, it's just boom. It's uh, it's a trip. I tell you what, it's definitely a trip. So anyway, I hope everybody had a good week. I hope that you get a chance to enjoy your weekends and that you've had a good experience. Hopefully, you're making progress with whatever you're trying to do and achieve. That's the important thing. So, all right. So before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you to please be decent in the chat. Also, no racism, no nastiness. If you can't abide by those really simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue are going to boot you out of here because we are not going to have it. So, something to think about, plan for. So, let's just all have an enjoyable chat and go from there. So, all right. So, the title: Do you need to be reprogrammed? Look at, oh, holy crap! Prepper Nurse 1 is going to get right into it right away. I can't believe it. I saw this interview with Hillary Clinton. I'm sure a lot of you that are watching my channel's favorite person. Uh, oh, my fast food shirt. I got to show you. Yep. All right. There we go. So, um, but yes. Anyway, so watch this interview with Hillary Clinton, and she was saying, I, God, I don't even know where to start. My brain's like in eight different places on this one at once. So anybody that is a Trump supporter, basically, they are saying that they need to be reprogrammed. What does that entail? I mean, I want you to think about that because you don't think exactly like we think, then you're wrong and we're right, and you need to have your thinking corrected. I mean, basically, um, that's kind of like the gist of what I'm getting at. Wishika says that's a really scary concept. Absolutely, 100%. Very scary concept. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know why people would even sit down and talk like that. Oh, you don't believe I believe, so you need to be reprogrammed. I mean, it's craziness. I mean, it is absolute craziness, and it's just you know the whole thing with and this is a person that was that close to being the president of the United States saying that. And I want you to think about that. That's you know how about she get reprogrammed? Yeah, she's something else, that one. I am just so grateful she never got to be you know got to be president. So I'm just very, very grateful. JJ, you want to take care of Mama Bear, please, and thank you ahead of time. Uh, but yeah, it's just these people. I just, heaven forbid that you look at things differently or have a different concept than other people. You know what I mean? That you think differently than somebody. Yeah, 19 is Germany all over again. Exactly. I just, whatever happened realistically, and this is a legitimate question. Whatever happened to, okay, you have your point of view, I have my point of view, we can agree to disagree, we can go ahead and we can live our lives, we can still be friendly, we can get along, and not have any issues. I don't get that. I really, really don't. I lived in China and had some of my friends go to re-education camps. Oh, you know what, Southern Homestead, I get it. I know what you're talking about. Yes, and basically, real. I mean, let's look at it this way: anybody that is a free thinker, somebody who thinks outside the box, somebody who um, doesn't align with their point of view, whoever is the people that are in charge, you're a threat, and that's a fact. People that they don't want you to think for yourselves. They want you to believe whatever they're telling you, whatever crap they feed you. They want you to willingly go along and not question anything, regardless of the fact of that I so I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it like this. And I have to be careful what I say here or how I say it. I have on this channel have gotten strikes for supposed. I will put it like that. Supposed misinformation. And when I look back and what I said, was I right? I don't want to come on here saying that I'm right, but their supposed truth was not absolutely the truth, and that has been proven now. That's a fact, and so here's what I have a real concern about, and this is one of my thoughts that I'm very concerned about. So this new one of this that they're talking about, safe and effective. Have we heard that term before? Right? Safe and effective, right? Okay. On babies as young as 6 months old. Now, young, healthy adults, realistically, they are, I don't want to say that they should or shouldn't, but they are in general, I'll put it like that. In general, younger people are much more healthy. Uh, and so certain things are not necessarily is important for them to get. Now, I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying that they shouldn't. Okay, so I have to, like I said, I have to be so careful on here, which drives me crazy because I'd like to just be able to say what I want to say, but if I do, I possibly could be accused again of spreading misinformation, which is not the case. But it depends on who's monitoring and what their thought process is on what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. All right. So, but it just it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy to me. And the government needs to start finding those who silence freedom of speech. Yeah, that's who's fact checking the fact checkers. You look what's going on, and basically, what is it? It's censorship. Realistically, you don't agree. You think that there's a possibility that this, that, or the other thing may be going on. So you voice your opinion, and because you're giving your opinion, you are, accused of spreading misinformation. Which why? Because you're not going to make as much money if I say something to people that makes them think, that makes them think outside the box. It's insanity. The whole thing is insanity. So my cat always lays down next to the speakers when I play your videos. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. I like that. Well, I am an animal person. I love animals. Always have. You know, my animals to me are like my children, and that's just kind of always the way. That's like right now she's right here. She's right here, laying here, and stuff like that. So. And if the worst happens here, will you stream on Rumble? I would, absolutely. I do have an account set up over there. My videos, from here get put up there as well. But I haven't done any exclusive content over there. And I'm sorry. I just the time it's with everything that I have going on, and I'm like honestly, I'm not sharing all my information with you guys. I'm not okay. But with everything that's going on, it's hard enough trying to keep up videos for YouTube and with trying to keep the live streams, and all those type of things. There's and then so I've been doing a lot of content, obviously, about what we're doing here, right? That's obvious. There's been a ton of videos of what our progress is here and stuff like that, and I want to continue to share that as well. But I also want to share other things, prepping related, the thoughts on that, in those type of things as well. So, I'm going to try to. I'm trying to. I got my poker in a lot of fires, if you will. So, but that's okay. I mean, I would rather be busy than sitting around being bored. I can't say that I'm ever bored. That's definitely not not the case. But anyway, but this whole reprogramming thought process that these people are trying to push out there, and there's already heavy duty censorship. When did I want you to think about it? And this is what I thought was interesting. And we're going to talk about what was said. I'm not going to give you my opinion. Heaven forbid that I say something that the powers that be disagree with. But so when did all this real heavy duty censorship start to happen? Right after Trump was elected, when he beat Hillary, when he wasn't supposed to beat Hillary. Um, Ed, are any of your members there this weekend? I figured one of those who got the house would come down and work. Nobody's here this weekend, Tony. One of my members that bought one of the houses, next month, he's already got it scheduled out. He's taken like an extra 4 days to come down and work on his property. Actually, and I know both of them that bought their places will be working on them this next weekend when they come. I know Mark has some stuff that he wants to do on the deer blind. So there's that type of thing. But anyway, so after Trump was elected, they came out right and said, "Oh, it was Russian bots, it was Russian misinformation, and all this type of stuff, and that was the problem with the election, and that's why Trump won and Hillary lost." Now, I honestly believe Hillary lost because she's not likable. People didn't like her, they didn't trust her, and I think a lot of people stood up and said, "Yeah, we're not allowing this to happen," and that's why Trump won that election. That's strictly my opinion. Um, you know, I never cared for the woman. I thought she was a snake in the grass. That's just, again, that's strictly my opinion. But after that, they were like, because of information that was being spread through Twitter, through Facebook, through YouTube, they were like, and who owns these companies? Let's be honest, right? The liberals own these companies now, not Twitter anymore. Now it's, but at that time, the liberals owned all that stuff. And so what ended up happening was they, basically any information when the next election came, when it was Biden against Trump, anything positive that was out there about Trump was basically shut down, was not put out there, was not allowed to be put out in the mainstream news, mainstream news media for 4 years. I want you to think about this. For 4 years, the entire time of Trump's presidency, all they did was rip him apart, rip him apart. Now, I want you to think about this. Let's think about this one for a second. If Trump had been doing what our current president is doing, fumbling over words, walking around on stage confused, uh, can't remember what's going on, all those things, they would have been screaming for him to be put out of office for being incompetent. But there's old Joe fumbling around, not knowing what's going on, has to be pointed, go this way, Joe, go this way, come off the stage here. It is amazing to me, 100% amazing to me that this is even allowed to go on, but it continues to go on. And then, and I love this. This is the term that was used. They want to stop the spread of misinformation on these social media platforms, right? And go to trusted news sources. Trusted news sources. That's what they call themselves. But here I am. Let's say I'm working for any one of them: ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, you know, MSNBC, any of them, right? So if I work for that company, here you go. Here's your script. This is what you're going to talk about. This is what you're going to say, and that's it. That's it. You know. But yeah, no, you know what I mean. And so I just, because the people on YouTube, a lot of people, and don't get me wrong, okay? Is there misinformation being spread out there? Of course there is. There's always going to be misinformation out there. There's going to be fear tactics used. There's going to be people that are going to be like, oh my God, this, or oh my God, that. It's just like, with the whole thing. I mean, one of the things I heard was that test that was going to be done the 4th of October, right? Fourth was going to be, oh my God, it's going to turn these people that got the shot into this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, this is insanity. And people ask me what were my thoughts. And what did I say? I think it would be a big nothing burger because, again, let me just be real clear about that. Okay. Let me be real clear about this. They're not going to tell you what's going to go on what date. They're not going to tell you. So happens, when something happens, it's going to be like, oh crap, that 9/11. Did anybody the day before 9/11 happened? Did anybody go, you know what? I think tomorrow there's going to be something going on the Monday that there's going to be this event that's going to happen. You never saw it coming. December 7th, right? 1941. Did anybody go the day before Pearl Harbor happened? Did anybody go, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll take the boat out tomorrow because I don't think it's going to be safe to be in Pearl Harbor tomorrow. So we better not be there tomorrow. You didn't know it was going to happen. It's why it's a surprise. It's an event. That's what happens. And whatever the game plan, if you will, that's going to happen next, they're not going to let you know. It's just not going to happen. I mean, it's just, they're not going to let you be prepared as even more so. If they think, I want you to think about this. Well, I heard that too, James. There's yeah, I hear you. I know. I have my own thoughts on that too, but I won't talk about them here. I have my own thoughts on 9/11. I won't talk about it here. Um, if I do some of those videos like that, I will do that on Rumble, and I will just, we could talk about it there. So, and Joe was rambling on about something, and they turned off his microphone. When did that ever happen to a U.S. president? Oh, I hear you. I hear you. Well, think about this. Remember, if you guys remember this video, the Easter, right, they were out there, and he's over there trying to talk to, the people in the crowd, and the Easter Bunny, who was obviously Secret Service, came over and redirected him away. I mean, when have you seen a president have that happen? They're like, okay, stupid, shut up, go over here, stop talking, stop rambling. Craziness, guys, absolute craziness. But again, what I was going to say was this: if they said to you, okay, in 2 weeks, this is what's going to happen. 2 weeks, you got 2 weeks. What are you going to do? I want you to think about this. What are you going to do? Are you going to continue to go to work for 2 weeks? Right? This big event's going to happen. It's going to change everything. Nothing is ever going to be the same again. You going to work for that 2 weeks? Or are you going to focus on taking care of the things that you need to take care of with your family, getting food put up, getting whatever supplies you needed, getting where you want to be for that situation, right? That's what you're going to do. You're not going to go to work. You're not going to continue to be Joe Good Citizen and grease the wheels of the machine. So that's why never let us know whatever the next plan is. And is there an agenda? Sometimes I believe that there is. Other times I just go, you know, they have to have their heads so far up their own posteriors that I don't get it. I really don't. Sometimes I think, do they think we're that stupid? And a lot of times I go, yeah, they think we're that stupid because they've gotten away with it for so long. And so many people just believe whatever they're told. They just believe whatever they're told. without question. They don't, there is no free thinking. It's not encouraged. Think about in school. Think about in school. If you were outside of the box in school, I don't want to deal with you. And I will, like I said, I always go from my own personal experiences. And I know, hey, Chris, thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Uh, I go with my own experiences. And my son Eddie was a handful. Not ever going to deny it. He was tough. Eddie was tough. But Eddie didn't fit in that box, right? That they have for, we're jamming all these autistic kids in this box and they have to fit. Well, Eddie's not one of those ones that did that. He never fit in the box, and they couldn't handle that. They didn't know how to. Chris says, "Thanks for all the great info." Well, thank you. I appreciate the support for the channel too. Thank you. But they so they don't want to deal with that, and so they didn't. So he got like suspended over and over and over again, and we eventually ended up doing. He had to have a tutor come in. So yeah, my Rumble's the same as here. Yes, it's Prepper Nurse One. Yep, yep. I'm Prepper Nurse One over there as well. So, but right now what's going on with Rumble is whatever videos I do here get put up on Rumble. It's done automatically. That's how we got it set up. If I do any content over there, yeah, the Easter Bunny had to give Joe missing jelly beans. Yeah, he's missing something. Honestly, guys, to watch it, it sickens me because it's elder abuse. That is elder abuse. You have this individual that see the decline. I mean, you see the decline. It's on national television. It's playing out on national television, and nothing is being done about it because, well, let's be honest. Let's be honest. If something happens to Joe and Joe is incapacitated, who do we got after that? Right? She's scarier than Biden. I mean, Biden might be clueless, but she scares the crap out of me. Yeah, I definitely do not want to see Harris be the president of the United States. So yeah, that would be so crazy stuff. She is, and she wants that power. I mean, that they asked. Remember, I don't know if you guys saw this one. They were talking to her, and she's like, "Oh, yes, I'm ready to step in if need be." Yeah, I'll bet you are. I'll bet you are. I want you guys to realize, that whoever is in control, and I don't claim to say it's these people or that people, whoever's in control, they do not have our best interest at heart. They never have had our interest at heart, and they never will. So, if they say this is for your own good, I would run the other way. That's just me, but I don't trust them at all, not at all. So, if she never even went to the border, well, do you remember AOC's performance at the border? Right? Do you remember her performance? They make me sick because they really don't care. And here's why they don't care. They don't do anything about it. If they did something about it, then I would show me that they're making an effort. They're not making an effort. And now I think it's funny. Now there's like these funds appropriated for the border wall, you know, and so he's like, oh, I can't stop it from going there to continue to build the wall. It's just I don't get any of it, to be honest with you. I really truly don't. That's why a lot of times I will focus on things that I'm doing here, because this is something that I can, see the progress, see better in doing what we're doing here. What do we got? 344 in the chat, guys. We got 151 thumbs up. First one time I'm asking, so we're 24 minutes in. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. I do really appreciate that. It makes all the difference, and it really helps with the algorithms. The more interaction, the better it is for the channel. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you. I have autistic children in my class almost yearly. This year I have two. Not all autistic kids are the same and have to be treated and taught differently. 100% agree. You're 100% right. No two of them are the same. No two of them are the same. There's different levels. And heaven forbid, and this is what always kills me too with this, when who knows that child, that autistic child, better than anybody else? Who's going to be the two people, if they're both in the picture, I should say, but who are the two people that are going to know that autistic child better than anybody else because they've been dealing with that autistic child from day one? That's the mom and the dad, right? But when you go to these schools, and you're trying to talk to them and say, well, yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Oh, well, you're just being an overprotective parent. You got to give it a shot, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I've heard it all. I've heard it all. And guess who was right at the end of the day every time, right? We were, you know, and we were trying to do the best thing that we could for the system. Folks, I'm going to tell you what, the system is so broken. It is unbelievable. I, I really want to know this, and this is a good question. To me, it's a good question. We stopped teaching our kids how to do spelling in cursive, right? They A lot of places have taken shop, home economics out of the picture, so the kids don't get that anymore. I had to take home ec in seventh grade. We were forced to take. I didn't want to take home ec, but we had to. It was one of the things that we had to do. Shop classes are gone now, right? All those things, auto repair a lot of times, and so there's a lot of things that are not being taught in schools anymore. What are they learning, right? What are they learning realistically? When you have some of these kids, I mean, like I will like it, and I'll be the first to admit, I mean, my spelling is atrocious. I never applied myself in school. I'm a lot better than I used to be. I will tell you that. I still suck at spelling, right? Art classes and music were taken out after I graduated in 2000. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. So what are they learning, right? Why would you not? Why would you not focus reading, writing? Let's go over history. History is important. Why is history important? Because history has a tendency to repeat itself. But the sad thing with history, let's be realistic. Who writes the history? The victors write the history. So it's always they were bad, we were good, we saved everybody. Congratulations to us. That's the reality, and it's always going to be that way. And but they want people to be just smart enough. George Carlin said it right. Just smart enough to run the machines, but stupid enough not to ask any questions. That's what they want, and they don't want you to they don't want you to think outside the box. They don't want you to be an independent individual and do those things. Yeah, they don't even say the Pledge of Allegiance anymore. You're right. Yep, that's another thing that they got rid of. And that we grew up with that. We grew up with that. And then you got, let's think about it. These lunatics, right, with their own agenda, are teaching our children and young children. Listen, I could care less, and I think anybody that watches this channel knows. I don't care if you're lesbian, homosexual. I don't care if you're transgender. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you're bisexual. Cover all of them, right? I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. But if you are a teacher, it is not your mission, it is not your responsibility to push that crap on children. People are going to figure out who they are. Kids are going to figure out who they want to be. They're going to do what they're going to do, you know. Uh, it is not your responsibility as a liberal left-wing lunatic. There was somebody, I can't remember, they were given extra credit to kids to go out and protest. Asif said teaching cow farts are bad. Right, exactly, Asif. Thank you very much. It's funny. Thank you very much for the donation too. I do appreciate that. So, it just it's insanity now. That and those people are the ones that are allowed to go. I'm going to give you an example of something. Okay, I had a teacher in high school. One of the teachers that I personally respected. There was only two teachers in my entire high school. Awesome. One guy's name was Mr. Abbey. He was my fifth grade teacher. He was a cool teacher. And then in 10th grade, Mr. Cox, COX, Mr. Cox. He was a social studies teacher. And, this guy was so squared away and he was so smart. And, he had, living in a small town. And so, after I had graduated from high school, periodically I would go and visit him. I'd stop at his house, just out of the blue, and hey, Mr. Cox, how you doing? And he'd be like, hey, Ed, man, come on in, let's have a beer. We would sit at his kitchen table, we would talk, that type of. And I'm talking, when I was in my mid 20s. Well, I found out afterwards, when I got a little older, like I said, in my mid 20s, and realized Mr. Cox was a homosexual. You would have never known it. You would have never known it in school because he didn't have no flag up on the wall. And I will tell you this, he never once, ever once made a move with me, ever once, never even tried, because he was respectful. He was a good dude. And I don't care what his orientation was, and when but it's just, he was a decent human being. And, like I said, but you never, and he never came out to me and said, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm homosexual. He never did, never told me. I figured it out. It wasn't hard to figure out, who was staying with him, and those type of things. But again, who cares? I didn't care. Didn't make no difference to me. Yeah, he knew I was straight. Exactly. So he never even attempted, never even attempted, which, believe me, that's not always the case. If they know you're straight or not, a lot of them are still going to try. I'll tell you what, and it's funny because some people get out of shape. They get so bent out of shape. I got hit on a lot in my life by men, a lot, and I mean a lot. And I think one of the reasons for that is I try to be nice to everybody. So I try to be decent to everybody. I try to, that's just who I am. And some people misconstrue that, unfortunately. But I will tell you this, 98% of people that hit on you, man or woman, right? They hit on you. If you say, no, thank you, I'm not interested, they let it go and they go and off they go, right? I took it as a compliment. That's the way I always took it. I took it as a compliment. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like I said, nope, thank you, appreciate it, but that's not my gig. So, then they go on their way and do whatever. There was only a couple that were really pushy, and I had to kind of be a little bit more forceful and be like, listen, dude, I told you no, leave it alone, let it go. I mean, that happens, but it's just, it's treating people with respect and dignity. That's what it always comes down to me. Okay. And you generally, and I will tell you this, and this is what I have found out throughout my life, and I've seen this play it out over and over and over again. Your biggest, hugest homophobic people, right? Oh, I hate homosexuals and they are disgusting and blah, 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 blah. The biggest ones that are the biggest haters, 9 times out of 10 are closet cases. They're closet cases. They hate that about themselves. Now, they may never act on it, or they do act on it, but they hate themselves about that. And they can't let anybody else know. So they put this bravado up and this whole show of, oh, they're disgusting and I hate them. And those people are the biggest hypocrites to me ever. Be who you are. You are who you are, you know. And I want you to realize this too. There's no huge uptick in kids being homosexual or lesbian or transgender or anything now. There's not a huge uptick. What it is now in our society, it's more socially acceptable that if you come out, you're not going to get your butt beat all the time. You're not, well, you probably will be still harassed in school if you come out in high school. A lot of times they are, even though they're saying there's no bullying. There's always bullying. I don't care who it is. Somebody's different. Somebody's not the same as everybody else. They're getting bullied. It happens. And there's nothing you're going to do to change it. Nothing you're going to do. And the schools, they're not really protecting these kids. They're not. It's just, that's a fact. Now they have to go through the motions and play the games now. There's a lot of that they have to deal with. But It is, it's a thing that, it's more socially accepted. So that's why more people, are open about it now. Where before, I mean, you go back to the 50s, you know, they were not open about it. They were very, very closeted. They call it in the closet for a reason, because if the general public knew, you were getting stopped on. And guess what happened? Um, People wouldn't, they wouldn't accept that. Same with religion, Ed, to a point, but not as intense, but to a point, yes, you know. But my daughter was bullied by two girls in junior high. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. I'll tell you what I told my daughter, and now my daughter has never been in a fight ever in her life, but I always told her this when she was in school, and she kept her head down, and she was with all the smart kids, so she was not in those same circles as those ignorant, stupid people that were the bullies for the most part. She was with all the smarter kids, and all the smarter kids did their work and they didn't, bother anybody. But what I always told her was this. I said, my rule of thumb has always been the same. Always been the same. If I feel like somebody may try to hurt me, I'm going to hurt them first. That's always been my rule of thumb. I told that to my same kids, because if you get your gut feeling and you feel like you're trying to get out of a situation, I would always encourage you, try to get away, get out of the situation. Don't try to engage. But if you are like backed into that corner and you haven't got a choice and you feel like they may try to hurt you, always hurt them first. And I said, if you throw the first punch, I don't care. Um, you know, I went after a child that was hurting my child. I don't blame you. I would, I'm not going to allow that either. As a parent, no way, no way. So, uh, their bullying never stopped. That's always going to go on. It's always going to happen. So if you think that everything is beautiful and wonderful and they all sit around and they get along great anymore, that's not reality. It's just not reality. You know. Red's Homestead. I still wear a belt and will use it. I hear you. No, no, I hear you on that one. So, but yeah, it's just, you know, we have choices as parents. What's important for us? What's important for our children? Trying to instill our values into our children. Um, you know, my thing was always this: my house, my rules, right? So you're living home, and I have rules. You follow the rules, and that's it. Period. End of story. It's not a debate, not a question, not an option. So what I've like what Heather asked me back, and then she never would do it, but she used to mess with me back in the day. Dad, what would you do if I came home and I had, blue hair or whatever? I said, well, two things would happen. You would either get it re-dyed right away, or I said, or you get a haircut. I said, you're not doing that nonsense under my roof. Now, once you become an adult, and there's the key, right? Once you're 18, you've graduated high school, and you're an adult, you can do whatever you want. It's your life, it's your choices. Hopefully, I've given you that stability and grounding, and the basis that you're going to look at things objectively and realize how things are and stuff like that. You know, I mean, like Josh asked me one time, my stepson. Now he never did it either. Okay, so just so you know, but he was testing me. He said, Ed, what would you do if I came back from dad's and I had on those bag down jeans, that were hanging off my behind? I said, you want to know what happened, Josh? He goes, yeah. I said, you would take them off. You and I would go in the backyard and you would set them on fire. I said, that's it. You know, Ed, your goatee, what happened? I was wanting to put the Viking things. Oh, yeah. It was getting, I go through phases, and I may grow everything back this winter. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, I cut it. I trimmed it all the way down. It was driving me crazy. And that's what'll happen. I'll have the whole beard, and I'll grow it out to a certain point, and then all of a sudden it starts to get all insane, and I just go, nope. Now this is as short as I will ever go with the goatee. I trimmed it up yesterday or the day before. I think yesterday I did it, but yeah, I trimmed it up. I'm like, we'll go short for right now, and it'll grow back out again. It's it is what it is. But yeah, when winter gets here, who knows? I may grow the whole beard out again. We'll have to see. It again just really depends on my mood. So, but anyway, but thank you for noticing. Yep. Yeah, Nostradamus says, yeah, I do the same thing with my beard. It starts bugging me and I trim it back in the stubble and let it grow back. Yeah, you have to. Julie says, Ed, you clean up nice. Well, thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, this is as short as it will ever be. I can't even remember the last time I shaved the goatee off or my mustache off. It's been a while. It's been a while. So, but yeah, like I said, I go through phases. And then when I grow the full beard and it's all big and long, and people go, "Oh my God, what are you doing? You look like Santa Claus." So you're never making anybody happy. Somebody's always going to be unhappy. But I just I go in streaks. So anyhow, um, it does look good. Well, thank you very much. Beard butter. I know. I mean, I had the stuff that I put in there when it started getting crazy, but I'm not I am not a high maintenance type of person. I'm really not. Like my fingernails. If you look at my fingernails, all right, as soon as they get to a certain point, I cut them because it drives me insane. I can't deal with a bunch of crap under my fingernails and stuff. So I cut them. So I mean, shaving my head, that's low maintenance. I just that's just beard oil. It helps a lot. Yeah, yeah, like I said, I just all that it's too much like work, Okie Forge. I don't know. I mean, and I get it, but I don't know. Like I said, I get to a point and I go, okay, that's it. And I trimmed it out. Like I said, I think I used the beard trimmer, and I did like a 12 millimeter on it, and it just went cleaned it all up and was like, okay, there we go. So, uh, anyway, but yeah, it's just this whole thing with these people talking about reprogramming. You know, why would you even talk about craziness like that? Why would you even talk about something like that? It's just it makes no sense to me that just somebody was talking about in China re-education camps, and that's basically you do as you're told or you're going to be punished. That's what those are. That's what re-education camps are, folks. You're punished because you are not complying to what you are told. You try to think for yourself. You try to think out of the box, and a lot of times they can break you. They can break you that way. If even like now, if you have somebody that's like really wanting to be as independent and and not complying and not doing whatever, if they decide to, they'll lock you up and they'll throw away the key for a while, and then you're going to be begging to get out, and they'll say, well, if we let you out, no more of this, and you go, okay, and you keep a low profile after that because you don't want the problems, and that's what happens a lot. So yeah, because Hillary's wishing she could get that kind of popularity but can't. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, I'm not a huge fan of politicians in general, period, anyway. I've been real clear on that for a long time. I think both parties are in the same bed together. They're never going to do anything for the betterment of us. All they're trying to do is create more laws to have more control. I mean, think about and I saw this today. Smart meters, right? Smart meters, smart cars, digital currency. What does all that entail? Hey, Asif, I'll take my phaser out and fire at the woke agenda and say, assimilate this. That's funny. That's funny. I like that. Thank you very much for the statement. And thank you for the donation as well. Uh, you know, that all those things are about control. So The smart meter, basically, a lot of times, right? If they say, okay, we want you to keep your house at this temperature, it's automatically going to do that, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. It's about control, you know. I'll tell you what, if I want to sit in my house and have it be 62 degrees and sit in my underwear, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to have anybody else tell me what I can and cannot do in that type of situation. I'm just not going to do it. You know, and you got the RVs, the smart cars, they can be turned off automatically. So you're driving down the road, you've reached your allotted miles that you're allowed to drive for that month, and a car will stop, and that'll be it. That's where you'll be. I mean, it's just I'm not ever going to comply with those type of things. I'm just not going to do it. It's just not my thing. I don't want people telling me what I can and cannot do. That's just in that situation. I'm fiercely independent, and that's why I like having solar. Like having solar. So, all right, let's go ahead. We're going to do egg. Before we do egg count, we're at 214. So let's, guys, that's what, 86 more thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, and you want me to shut up about thumbs up, which I really haven't asked for a lot this tonight, um, let's get to 300 as quickly as possible, and I will not ask for any more. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I thank you ahead of time. Also, keep guessing, guys, because it don't make no difference. None of them count yet. I haven't said we're starting yet. So go ahead and keep guessing because it doesn't matter. I will tell you when we start. I mean, I don't know how many times we got to go through this, but it's okay. Go ahead. Um, but again, if you have not shot one yet, please do so to show support. Appreciate it. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time. Okay, starting now. How many eggs, and yes or no for Miss Thickneck? I don't get why people don't understand that. When I say start, that's when we start. Uh, all right. So go ahead and keep guessing there. I'll give you a few more minutes. It's raining outside right now. I can hear it raining, which I'm really happy about. And we definitely needed the rain. It has been so dry, so dry. All right. We had a first time winner tonight with Dave 4069, I believe was his handle. I'd have to go back and look at it again real quick. Hold on. But I believe, let's see. Anyway, Dave 4069, I believe, is the number that he had for his name, with 4 eggs and no for Miss Thickneck. So yeah, Dave's not here. Yeah, Dave 4069. There we go. He is the winner. So congratulations to Dave. You've won absolutely nothing. Oh, 96. Yeah, I'm sorry, 4096. Dave 40. I like 69 better. Sorry. Dave 4096. My apologies. I thought I said it wrong. But anyway, so Dave is the winner. Congratulations to Dave. And so, all right. Moving on. The year I was born, 69. My ex was born in 69 as well. Dyslexia at its finest. Yeah, well, it happens. All right. My wife is blushing at. Hey, if you want to take it to that level, Okie Forge, I just said I like 69 better. I didn't put any kind of connotation with it. Actually, 77 is better than 69. Do you know why? Does anybody know why 77 is better than 69? I will tell you why. Because you get 8 more. But bing. The joke of the evening. So, all right. Oh, Washington Monument. That's funny. All right. Anybody have let's do a little bit of this. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask? If you have any questions, guys, all cap locks, so that it stands out for me. Hey, I got a twisted sense of humor. What do you want from me? I'm not right in the head. I can't help it. Don't quit my day job. I'm not. TB is on the rise. Why is that? Well, Sharon, that's easy enough to tell you why that's on the rise. We have 2.5 million more illegal immigrants in the country that were caught, that came in and said, "Hey, we're here," this year, and 2.3 million last year. So we have a whole bunch of undocumented, unvaccinated people, and you know we have all, and they're probably not being vaccinated in their country like that we do here. So where did I get that chair in the pavilion, Larry? I didn't. It's one of the members' chairs, so I am not sure where they got it. You know, I'd be a millionaire if I got a dollar every time someone said that boy ain't right in the head while I was growing up. I like that. That's funny. That is funny. And explain to us who you think they are. Okay, when I talk about they, I talk about the people that really run things. If you are thinking that the president or the vice president or anybody in Congress or the Senate run things, then you are delusional and you're sadly mistaken. The people that run things realistically in this country, big business run things. So you got like somebody like Jamie Dimon, right? How long's Jamie Dimon been the CEO? More than 20 years, right? So there are people out there, the elites, people like to call them the elites. Um, they determine policy, they determine what's going to happen and how things are going to happen. Um, so those are the people that are really running things. Big business, these billionaires that have all this money. Uh, you know, you look at the influence. Okay, I mean, Bill Gates. Who the hell is Bill Gates, right? Who is he to have so much influence, but because he has so much money, right, he can influence things. So if there is negative press about him, from XYZ paper, he can just go in and buy that paper, and that's the end of that. That's the end of the controversy. That's the end of people saying anything negative about Bill Gates in the news media, right? It's as simple as that. So you look at the laws that are put in place. So, an example, right? Let's talk about the power companies. Why do you think that when you decide, hey, I want to get solar for my home, let me call one of these solar companies, and get some solar for my property, and they come in and they say, well, we're going to have you grid tied to the grid. Your bill's going to be this much less, and everything's going to be beautiful, and blah blah blah. Why is it done like that? Because that's what the power companies want. The power companies control those people that are putting in the solar. They're working together because they still own you, they still control you. All right. They don't want you to have an independent system. They don't want you to have that transfer switch in the basement and have your own batteries, so that when the power does go out, and if you're grid tied, that you can, bam, hit your transfer switch, and now you have, that opportunity to still have power when nobody else has power. They don't want you to do that, right? And it's about control. It's about control. Why do you think there's so many laws on the books that say if you live in this town, whatever town USA, Go look it up, right? Whatever town, USA, um, 5,000 people or more, any of those, right? Any of those type of towns, they have rules on the books that if you live in a town, you cannot be independently on the solar system. You have to be grid tied. You have to be tied to the grid. If you are not tied to the grid, they'll condemn your home because now it's not safe according to them, right? All these rules are put in place. Are they put in place to benefit you? No, they're not put in place to benefit you. They're put in place to benefit big business. Always the case. Every look at all the laws that are passed, all the things that are done. All these things are done to benefit big business, you know. But yeah, and if you don't go with the power companies, your property can be condemned by the city or village. Exactly. Um, your water gets shut off because you didn't pay your water bill, or your power gets shut off because you didn't pay your power bill. You ain't going to be living there much longer if those things happen. They're not going to allow it, right? They're not going to allow it. So, that's what happens. That's who they are. They are the ones, your insurance companies, that set the precedent. Who decides? Um, I haven't had a car accident in since before my kids were born. It was the last time I was in a car accident, and even that one wasn't my fault. I hit somebody, but the girl ran the red light, and I didn't. I was going because my light was green. But again, who sets that? Who sets that price? Why is it at this much a month? You know, why is young people, right? The insurance companies decide, well, boys are a bigger risk for driving stupid, right, than girls are. So boys pay more for insurance than girls pay. You know, why is it that if somebody gets pulled over, right? Why does this work? If the girl gets pulled over and she turns on the waterworks, a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, the cops are going to let them off. You as a man, if you turn on the waterworks when the cops pull you over, guess what they're going to say? Suck it up, Buttercup. Right? They're not going to give you a break. They're not going to cut you any slack. That's reality. That's the way it is. That's the way it always is. It just works that way. I've had so many people tell me, "Oh yeah, I got out of the ticket because I started crying or whatever," and I say, yeah, that's never worked for me, so I don't do it. You know what I mean? But unless a female cop, right? I hear you. No, I hear you. But again, um, you know, so your pharmaceutical companies, right? Tell me they don't have a ton of control in this country, a lot of say in this country. How many of the people in Congress and their Senate are I don't want to say they're on the payroll, but they're getting huge donations from pharmaceutical companies. And then when a bill comes through that's going to favor the pharmaceutical companies, remember, and this was such a fiasco, and I laughed so hard when I saw this. You had Biden come on there. We're going after the pharmaceutical companies. You're full of crap, Joe. They do a couple little things, and they make like it's a big deal. The pharmaceutical companies have a ton of control. So your power companies, your insurance companies. Oh, let's not forget the oil companies, right? Oh my God, there's a little storm coming in. We're going to have to shut down and we're going to be offline for a little bit, maybe a week or two, but we're going to jump the gas prices up 15 cents a gallon. And then maybe a month or 6 weeks later, we're going to drop it a nickel and you think you're saving money, right? Big deal. But it's still higher than what it was before. So they just keep raking in the bucks. But we got to have that oil, right? We got to have that oil. So, again, yeah, there's a lot of control being, put out there. And then you have these politicians that get up there, and pretend like they give a crap. Oh, we're concerned about you and we're doing this for your safety. Whatever it may be. It ain't for your safety. It's going to benefit big business, number one, always. And it's going to take away more of your freedoms, number two. And it's about control. It's about control. Always, anything you look at these laws that are passed, folks, they're not for your best interest. Do you think taking guns out of the hands of law abiding citizens is going to make a difference in crime? Law abiding citizens are not committing the crimes. Law-abiding citizens, if you limit me to, a 10-round magazine like New York, you can have a 10-round magazine, but you can only have 7 rounds in the magazine in New York State, right? And that's after you've jumped through all the hoops to get your permission to be able to have a gun in the first place. It's insanity. Last I checked, I'm just me thinking outside the box. Criminals don't follow laws. They don't care about the laws. They don't care what you say or what, is legal or not legal. They don't care if they go back to prison. So, why do you think all these low license scumbags all have guns, right? But you're not allowed to because, that's it's for your safety. Yeah. The roadblocks, DWI checkpoints. Do you think that's for your safety? You think they really care about your safety? Or could that possibly be a revenue collector, right? I want you to think about this. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this one. Let's talk about DWIs, right? So you get popped. Now, should you be drinking and driving? No, I don't think you should be drinking and driving. I think you should be responsible. And, I'm definitely down with that, okay? But you get a DWI. Right off the top, it's going to cost you about 10 grand for a lawyer. That's number one. Then they're going to make you take drunk driving classes. They may have you do the thing that you have to put in the car that you blow in. They're going to make you take all these different classes. And that's all money. That's all money coming in. Maybe you're on probation because of it, right? So now you got to go see a probation officer and do all that. It's all about the money, guys. At the end of the day, it's all about the money. It's not about your safety, not really. You know, so it's like it's just it's all a big game. All of it is. All right, I know we're running behind here on shout outs, and I apologize, but you got me on a roll, and I just once I get rolling, that happens. But again, yeah, so the people that really run things, if you think your government's running things, you're sadly mistaken. These other people, they are in power, they have money, and they're going to be there. They're not going anywhere, and they're going to control every aspect, if they can, of your life, what you do, and how you do it. That's what they're going to do. So, all right. Start out with Heavenly Hills Homestead. Ryan's a real good guy growing giant vegetables. Definitely check him out. Um, I was just reading, Ed, that women now pay more in car insurance in 21 states. Really? Wow. That I did not know. But Heavenly Hills Homestead, really good guy. Definitely check him out. You have Icky Can up in Canada. I like Icky. He's a good guy. You have Angry Prepper. That's Jason down in New York City. Jason's awesome. Enough said. Alaska Prepper with Rudy. A lot of good content on his channel as well. There is Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self-Reliance, 2 different channels. Really good guy, master builder. Awesome to watch and see what he's doing. Let's see. We have Demcad, like him too. Really good information on his channel. You have Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen, 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizarrizza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles, a really interesting story. A lot of good information with that. You have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. There is Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You have Wranglestar, that's Cody, real good guy. A lot of great information on his channel. There's Red Poppy Ranch. There's Survival Lily coming at you from Europe, showing you what things are going on over there. You have Kyle's Cabin, Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota, doing their thing up there. Can I help you, perhaps? Huh? Kiss? Wait, give me a kiss. Well, do it right here. Thank you. Good girl. Let's see, where were we? Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband-wife team. Really, really good people. A lot of good information. They split their time between Michigan and, okay, now you got to go down. Go down now. Good girl. In Alaska. Did I do Kyle's Cabin? I don't know if I did Kyle's Cabin. Kyle's Cabin up in Minnesota. Kyle and Sierra doing their thing, living off grid up there. You have Green Greg's, another good guy, a lot of good information on his channel. There is Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. You have Gray Man Prepping. There's Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy have been around for a long time. Really good channel. A lot of good information there. The Nomadic Movement down in Panama. You have the Green Dream Project out in Arizona showing you what it's like to live off grid in the desert. There is Camping with Steve Wallace, who does stealth camping up in Canada. There's Bush Doctor Survival. You have Monkey Works. The Needy Homesteader, she's been around for a long time. Really good channel up there. You have Boss of the Swamp, another guy that's a really amazing builder, and it's really fun to watch what he does. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond is a really smart guy. He definitely gives good information, lets you know what's going on with the Grand Solar Minimum and everything like that. We have Patera with Appalachian Homestead. There is City Prepper, Lumina Acres. You have Suspicious Observer, letting you know what's going on with the sun and all that. Really interesting there. Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News, giving you all the latest updates of what's going on with Yellowstone and the earthquakes and everything. You have Adapt 2030. There's Malachi's Corner. You have Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy to get your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall is a great guy, really awesome, gives back to the community in a huge way, and very passionate about the weather. There is Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand. He gives you the information, lets you decide what you want to do with it. You have Deep South Homestead, family friendly oriented channel, a lot of good information there, so definitely check them out as well. You have The Outsider up in Maine. There is The Fit Farmer. You have Prep Rebel. There is Simple Life Reclaimed. You have Townsend's, which shows you what it's like to live in the 1800s, which is a good thing. The Prepared Mind. You have Pinball Preparedness out of Tennessee. You have The Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. A lot of good information. Excuse me, a lot of good channels out there sharing information. So it's really, really good. I think we need to look at different perspectives as well, which is a really good thing. So I would encourage you to, and I know you guys are adding a lot of other channels on here as well. So check them out as well. And, let's just support each other. That's what we should do. So we're at 269. We need 31 more thumbs up, guys. We got about 13 minutes to go. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that. 31, I know you guys got that in a heartbeat. So let's rock. And I'll shut up again when we hit 300 thumbs up. I'll shut up and won't ask for any more. I promise. So again, it really makes a huge difference with the algorithms as well. So I thank you for that reason. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time. So we're at 277. So 23 more, guys. 23 more thumbs up puts us where we want to be. Again, I'm going to always continue to encourage you to prep, continue to get ready, control what you can control. Life is very short. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know when that other shoe is going to drop. So the more that we are prepared, the more that we are ready, the better off we're going to be in that situation. So that is definitely something that we need to be paying attention to. So we're at 283, so 17 more. We're almost there. Also, I changed up, guys. I went today and I picked up pita sea salt crackers. I like those. And I forgot to get the hummus, though. I like to, have the hummus and dip them in the hummus. I like them. So, that's where I go with that. But anyway. So I went grocery shopping today, and I really did not buy that much. And it was $86. Absolute insanity. The grocery prices. I don't know. Yeah, jalapeno hummus. Yep, absolutely. I don't know how people are doing it, especially with kids. But hey, Storm Weather, thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're at 285, so we need 15 more, guys. Well, now we're at 14 more. We're at 286. So 14 more thumbs up. Hauling my deer home in the car, share the harvest. Oh, that's cool. Well, congratulations. Yeah, no, bow season is right now, so that's they need to thin the herd out a little bit down here. So I'm like, yeah, we definitely need some of these deer. I headed out the other day, and I was leaving at 10 to 5 in the morning, and the road that I live on is very long. It's a very long road, and I live like almost like in the middle of this road, and I counted 29 deer as I was leaving to get out to the main road. So, and that's not the road into here. That's the main road, if you will, that's out there. So yeah, it was crazy, crazy. So anyway, what are you gonna do? So uh, made my own salsa verde a few weeks ago. That's cool. That is very cool. Yeah, the cook job is still open, though I know some of my ladies here would say that that job is not open. I got some ladies here, folks. I'll tell you what, that are part of the group. They can cook, so that is a good thing. That is a very good thing. I can get by. Been a bachelor for a long time, So I didn't get married the first time until I was 30. So I survived somehow. So 290. We get 10 more thumbs up, guys. 10 more. Let's see if we can get there. All right. Let's do this. We are Legion because we are many. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. Where's everybody from tonight? So go ahead and put that up there. West coast of Florida with Kit. Dayton, Ohio with Rhonda. Franklin County, Ohio with Campton Moon. Let's see. They're making up new MOSs to try to get new recruits. I didn't see that. Beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsylvania Granny. Janet up in BC, Canada. Ontario, Canada with Dave. Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge. Got Michigan with Laura. Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. Fort Worth, Texas with Sonia. Troutman, North Carolina with Troy. Leesburg, Florida with Jones. Sandusky, Ohio. Lynchburg, Virginia. Bath in England in the UK. Glad to have you here. San Bernardino, California. Logan, West Virginia with Prepping with Rex. We have Central Illinois with Richard. Washington State with Storm. St. Augustine, Florida with Diane. The UP of Michigan with Dawn. Carmel, New York. Charlotte County, Florida with Gloria. Fayetteville, North Carolina with Carol. Dust Devil out of Texas. Bay of Islands, Newfoundland, Canada with Mar. Missouri and the Ozarks with Delbert. We have Dutchess County, New York State with Dana. Asheville, North Carolina, beautiful up there. Is that where you? Oh, I know. Yeah, you're down there right now. Very cool, man. Yatesville, Georgia, with Tony Blackmoon. Corpus Christi, Texas, with Texas Tater. Burton, Michigan, with Steve. Columbus, Ohio, with Julie. Long Island, New York, with Helen. Purser County, California. New Hampshire with Brenda. Western New York with Karen. West Central Ohio with Dale. Morning Light in West Virginia. Bellevue, North Carolina with Tim. We got Washington State with Bubba. So again, we're all over the country. Dwindle, Virginia with Mr. Black Cat. We got Missouri's in the house. Hamilton, Ohio with Tim. But we're all over the country. We're all over the world. We are a huge network of people. We are the ones that can make a difference. We got Flat, Florida, yeah, with Andrea. Florida is flat, that is for sure. Harper's Ferry, West Virginia with Happy Mountaineer. East Central Illinois with Lana. Scott County, Virginia with Midway Farms. So, again, all over the place. We're the ones that are awake. We're the ones that can make a difference. We can make a difference now. We can definitely make a difference after an event because we will be teaching people that have no clue of what to do and how to do it. The more people that we can wake up now is less victims when that time comes. I think that's important to continue to try to do so. I know that it can be very frustrating, but we definitely need to try. So I'm seeing 298, guys. 2 more thumbs up, 2 more to go, and we'll hit our goal of 300. So we're almost there. 299. Now we got one more to go. See, I know you guys are saying you're seeing 300, but I'm seeing 299. So I do not know why it's always different. But now I see 300. Now you probably see 301. So it's weird how that works. But I'm seeing 300. So we hit our goal. So thank you very much. Um, but anyway, again, just stay focused, folks. Try to stay away from the distractions. They're always going to be trying to distract you from something else. And that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. Control what you can control. Take care of your families. We got Cape Cod Mass is in the house. That's the important thing. Always remember, family's so important. Think about them because, as the responsible adult, doesn't matter if you're male or female, if you are the responsible adult, it's your responsibility to take care of your family. And that usually ends up being the extended family as well. So, prep accordingly, uh, be there, be supportive. Now, I can guarantee this, I encourage you when the time comes, you can say, with my blessing from Prepper Nurse One, I told you so. Make sure you use that and make sure you use that a lot so that they understand that you were right and that they were wrong. A small part, guys, a small part of me wants to be in that position to be able to say, see, I was right all along, but at the same time, it's not something that I want to see actually happen. So, anyway, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping these chats clean. They are amazing. So, very much appreciated, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. You guys are awesome. So, thank you very much for what you do. Again, very appreciate it. I appreciate all your guys' support. It's a lot of fun. I do enjoy these chats. And, hopefully we all learn something. We share information. And I think that that is important, uh, you know, but that's the important thing. All right. So, anyway, remember, folks, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we truly will be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. They would rather have us fight amongst each other over nothing than come together, because if we came together, then we could focus on the real problem, which is big business, which is the government. They don't want that. They don't want that. They want you to continue to hate somebody because of the color of their skin. They want you to hate them because of their religion. They want you to hate them because of their sexual orientation. They want you to hate them because they have a different political view than you. None of that makes any difference at the end of the day. None of it does. So think about that. Also, remember, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important to tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. All right. Last but not least, guys, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that is going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. If you set realistic goals and then set about to making them happen, to me, that is the best way to shut up doubters and people that say that you can't do something. Is just go ahead, do it, get it done. And you don't even have to say to them, see, I told you so, because they just have to shut up because you did it. It's as simple as that. Stay away from negative people that want to bring you down. Surround yourself with positive people. I think that's probably the best thing that you can do. Just do that and you're going to be just fine. All right. Be safe, everybody. Again, 308, we well past 300 there. That's cool. Have a great night. Have a safe weekend. Take care of your business, do what you can do, and you'll be okay. All right. I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse One, out for now.